Romain Sardou, born 6 January 1974, is a French novelist born in Boulogne-Billancourt, Hauts-de-Seine. He is the son of the singer and songwriter Michel Sardou. Biography. Romain Sardou was born of a long line of artists, singers, actors, writers. He developed a passion at an early young age for opera. He was just 10 years old when he discovered his fascination for Richard Wagner. This precocious love led him to the discovery of the theatre, then literature. His infatuation for reading quickly gained precedence over his love of music. He grew up among the works and lives of great authors whom he cherished. This passion is almost all-encompassing and was to stay with him for life. He left high school in the year before graduation with a firm intention of becoming a playwright. He enrolled in theatre classes, which he followed for 3 years, in order to better understand the mechanics involved in the art of stagecraft and more clearly discern the acting profession. In parallel, he engaged in numerous writing exercises, all aimed at the theatre. Unsatisfied, he settled in the country for 4 years, during which he built up his book collection and read voraciously the works of historians. He then left the country to work for 2 years in Los Angeles, where he wrote scripts for children. He eventually came back to France, where he got married and wrote a successful first novel. Romain Sardou is the father of 3 children, Aliena, Gabriel and Victor Scott. He wrote the tale entitled 1 Second Before Christmas for them. Bibliography. Pardonne nos offenses. Forgive us our sins. 2002 Exa editions. L'Éclat de Dieu. The Spark of God. 2004 Exa editions. 2005 Pocket. Une seconde avant Noël. 1 Second Before Christmas. 2005 Exa editions. Personne n'y échappera. No One Will Get Out. 2006 Exa editions. Sauver Noël. Save Christmas. 2006 Exa editions. Délivre nous du mal. Deliver Us from Evil. 2008 XO editions. L'Âge de Noël and Other Tales. The Christmas Arc. 2008 XO editions. Lots of Love. Scott and Scotty. Letters 1936 to 1940 by Francis Scott Fitzgerald and daughter Scotty. Francis Scott Fitzgerald. Bernard Pasqua 2 editions. 2008. Translation in French. Quit Romain Moors. XO editions. 2009. America. Book 1. La 13e Colony. The 13 Colony, Georgia. U.S. State. XO editions. 2010. Book 2. Le Main Rouge. The Red Hand. XO editions. 2012. Fraulein France. XO editions. 2014. Mademoiselle France. Pocket. 2015. Maxence. Comics. Book 1. La Sedition Nika. Nika Riots. Le Lombard. 2014. Romain Sardou and Carlos Rafael Duarte. Book 1. La Sedition Nika. Nika Riots. New edition Le Lombard. 2016. Romain Sardou and Carlos Rafael Duarte. Book 2. L'Auguste Le Lombard. 2016. Romain Sardou and Carlos Rafael Duarte. Book 3. Le Signe Noir Le Lombard. Announced 2017. Romain Sardou and Carlos Rafael Duarte. Ben. Kids. Book 1. Ben. Super He Acutaros dans la Noir. Written with Francesca Sardou. Illustrated by Lily Labeline. Hachette Jeunesse. 2016. Book 2. Ben. Super He Acutaros de la Politessa. Written with Francesca Sardou. Illustrated by Lily Labeline. Hachette Jeunesse. 2016. Book 3. Ben. Super He Acutaros sans totot. Written with Francesca Sardou. Illustrated by Lily Labeline. Hachette Jeunesse. 2016. Book 4. Ben, Super He Acutaros au Grand Coeur. Written with Francesca Sardou. Illustrated by Lily Labeline. Hachette Jeunesse. 2016. Un homme averti vort rien. Forewarned is not forearmed. September 2016. Exa Editions. Forgive us our sins. 1284. The chill winds of the devil isolate from the rest of the world the small diocese of Draguignan, in the county of Toulouse. Before the sight of the statue of the Virgin Mary broken by the cold, Romain Sardou, its bishop, is not far from thinking that a curse is wreaking havoc on his parishes. Everything started when two young girls found the remains of tortured bodies in the river. The savage murder of Joaquin leaves the village in prey to the most irrational fears. It is at this point that a mysterious priest, Henogui, makes his entrance, accompanied by a young boy and by a hideously ugly man. He had been summoned by Joaquin to take charge of the 13th parish of the diocese, Hauts-de-Seine. After 3 days of walking in a forest which is as dark as it is inextricable, the group reaches the entrance of a deserted village. The church is in ruins and many houses are abandoned, surrounded by foul-smelling marshlands and suspected of carrying the plague. The third parish has lived in oblivion for decades. Nobody knows what has happened to its inhabitants. The cursed parish, the 13th of the bishopric, is so isolated that its name is often omitted from the maps of the provostship. But it does, however, interest the highest echelons in Rome. The Holy See is full of rumors and agitations in the most secret inner circles of the Vatican have had repercussions as far afield as the Kingdom of France. Maybe the key to these mysteries can be found in the troubled life of Romain Sardou, or with Henogui, the priest with the strange methods, or found at the very heart of the 13th parish. Historical characters in the novel. Pope Martin IV. The spark of God. Deep beneath Jerusalem, from the beginning of time, lies an object that could change the world. The spark of God. At least that is what 9 knights, willing to risk their lives in the attempt to recover it, believe. And when, in 1099, the long-awaited news of the liberation of Jerusalem comes at last, the knights promise their aid and protection to the thousands of pilgrims who set off for the Holy Land. They set about organizing a vast pilgrimage, which will enable them to conceal their true aim. But just before they set off, one of them is murdered, whether by accident or by design. He leaves a packet of letters about the secret buried deep in the Holy Land, a secret known to King Solomon, for his nephew Cosimo to find. Soon the young man discovers that his uncle had organized everything as if in the knowledge that he would never return from the Holy Land. Why? Cosimo determines to find out. Unbeknownst to everyone, he insinuates himself into one of the groups of pilgrims. What will they be searching for in Jerusalem? And now, imagine that the story of this novel is situated either in the past or in the future. But is it really the past and the future? And if it is, then why does everything happen in the same way? Historical characters in the novel. Bernard of Clairvaux, Hugues de Payens, Baldwin II of Jerusalem, Robert de Cron, Godfrey de Saint-Omer, André de Montbard. Historical places in the novel. Jerusalem, Troyes, Clairvaux Abbey, County of Champagne, Constantinople. See also Knights Templar, Solomon's Temple, First Crusade, Pilgrimage, Utroni. Time travel in fiction. 1 second before Christmas. How does Santa Claus deliver all his packages at once? Where is his factory? Who makes the gifts? How does it all really work? These questions about the wonderment and mechanics of Christmas are the farthest thing possible from the thoughts of young Harold on the 16th of October, 1851. Harold is an orphan and street urchin in the sad, grey industrial never town of Coke-Cuttle, in Lancashire, England, and he does not suspect the exceptional adventure awaiting him. Indeed, Harold is about to be called to duty as the new Santa Claus, delivering presents and happiness to his fellow children around the world. He's given the familiar red suit and a big white beard, too, and he's set to task. But how does Santa Claus deliver all those packages in one night? What about the elves and reindeer? Our little Harold will have to find a very quick answer to those questions after all. Places in this Christmas tale == Lancashire, Aquilius, North Pole, Aberdeenshire, also Victorian era, Industrial Revolution, child labour, chimney sweep, XO Editions, Susanna Lee Associates, Random House, Romain Sardou's website.